स्वागत करते हैं जी एक बार फिर आप सब ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਸੁਜ਼ੈਨ ਬੀਰੋ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸੈਲਫ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਕੋਚ ਨੇ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਇੱਕ ਆਥਰ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਸੈਲਫ ਕੌਨਫੀਡੈਂਸ, ਸੈਲਫ ਅਸਟੀਮ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣ ਸਕਨੇ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਉੱਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਸੈਲਫ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ, ਚੰਗੇ ਲੀਡਰਸ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਹਤਰੀ ਲਿਆ ਸਕੀਏ। ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਉੱਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੁਜ਼ੈਨ ਬੀਰੋ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So today we would like to know a little bit about how to self-develop ourselves. You coach. You are a self-leadership coach, and you deal with the big people. Who are excelling in all the fields, whether it's business or in politics or anywhere else. So tell us, for a common person, what are the things which they need to know by which they can develop themselves?
Oh, it's a great question. I think the first thing starts with what do we most care about?
Right.
What are some of the key things that we value? And how do we live those out every day? And if all we did was write that down, there's an incredible power that comes from writing down of who do I want to become?
Okay.
What do I stand for? And then just revisiting that every day so that we have a place to ground ourselves as far as reminding ourselves. It's easy to forget. We get very, very busy. Who am I? What do I stand for? How do I want to live? Revisit it every morning, almost like a form of meditation.
Right.
And set an intention, and then it requires that I be that person in this interaction, and then when I leave you in the next interaction.
Right. So Susan, why is it important to write down, especially when we set our goals? We have lots of goals, but many times they just dissipate. They don't remain. So why is writing important? That whatever you want to do, write it down.
The act of taking it from our head to the paper forces us to make it more real. When we see it staring back at us, it becomes something real in the world. The same as when we speak it. And we know this intuitively because it's why we don't like sometimes when people ask us the tough life questions, because we don't want to have to answer it, because when we answer it, it makes it real for us.
Right.
We don't want to say the word, because if I say the word, I'm going to have to do something about it. The same that happens on paper. It's
Right.
a very useful process. I write it down, I see it, and if I revisit it, it's staring right back at me of, this is who I said I wanted to be. How did
Right.
I do today? And what's my intention for tomorrow? So
Right.
simple acts that can help us stay on our own path.
So first step is writing down, and then to follow up. And that's a question. Lots of things happen, life happens.
Yes.
Your goals, sometimes they go back. For example, let's take an example. I set up a goal that I want to lose 10 pounds of weight.
Yes, me too.
I'm very eager. And of course, during the New Year resolutions, this is the most important goal. Probably everybody wants to do that. There's a lot of energy, force. You do it for a few days, but then it just fizzles down and fizzles down.
Yes.
And then probably towards the end of December, you again remember.
Yes.
So how to make sure that after you have written down your goal, how to continually follow that?
Yeah, so we might have our goals, and then when we revisit them daily, we might look at what am I actually going to do today to
Right.
deliver on that? Knowing
Okay.
that I can't lose 10 pounds today, but what are some of the small steps that I do today? Maybe it's drink more water, maybe it's go for that walk, and we simply commit to these things.
Right.
We make promises to ourselves, and the more that we can keep our promises to ourselves, the more we trust ourselves to follow through. So it's a discipline that's really, really important, is try not to promise ourselves something we're not going to follow through with.
Right.
But if we promise ourselves something, it's as good as gold, then we start to trust ourselves, build that muscle, and then when we start to apply that to our goals, we see there's really no limit to what we can accomplish. And we become energized by that. We lose the 10 pounds, then we want to go even further.
Right.
Then we excel at work, then we improve every relationship, and it snowballs upward.
Right. Okay, another thing is that should you have small goals or lofty goals? How to set up those goals, because goal setting is again a very important thing, whatever you want to achieve.
Yes.
So what is your experience and what is your advice, because you're a senior leadership coach, so what do you guide on this particular aspect?
Yeah, I think it's both. So I say, what's the grand vision? Like,
Right.
why are you here? And I often, with the senior level leader, at some point will ask, what's your spiritual orientation? What is life about? What are we really doing here? For the sake of what? And it always comes down to some human value or purpose to improve the lives.
Right.
Of the people that we interact with, and to improve the world in some way. And so start with that lofty goal, because that's a remembrance of why we're doing what we're doing.
Right.
And it can compel us forward. And then we try today again, what can I do today to deliver on that lofty goal, knowing that it's never quite a reachable thing.
Right.
But if I can make the world better in whatever way that matters to me, how do I fulfill that in this iteration, in the conversation I have with you?
Right.
Then when I leave you and I go to the coffee shop, in that iteration, and what are some of the concrete things that need to occur
Right.
in order to reach that? And I start mapping it out.
Okay.
What's today, next week, next month, and start plotting it out.
So daily to weekly to semi-monthly to yearly goals.
Yeah, because
Right.
the big goals take years.
Absolutely. But
Absolutely.
you have to take small steps to reach those big goals.
Yes. Yeah,
Right.
and they'll build upon each other, and then we have the feeling of momentum.
Right.
And then we fly out of bed because we know where we're going. We have a strong enough why underneath, a really personal why.
Right.
And I think human beings thrive when they really have in touch with what they're doing, and it matters so intrinsically to humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
And here comes a point where we ought to take some help, and we have professional coaches like you who guide. Tell us, for a common person, how to make sure that the person from whom you're going to get advice or whom you're going to take you as your mentor, what
Right.
qualities should that mentor and coach have so that it's going to be a lifelong relationship?
Yeah.
And how to make sure that the person whom you're choosing is the right person for you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we can learn from everyone, and I almost encourage is look for mentors and coaches everywhere you go. You
Right.
don't actually even need to know these people personally through books and audiobooks and
Right.
now YouTube. We can learn immensely from everyone if we have this sort of open learner mindset.
Right.
And so I just encourage is look to who inspires you, who you look up to, who you think's really, really effective within your organization. In particular meetings, how they handle something,
Right.
because we learn immensely by watching others.
Absolutely.
So find mentors everywhere. You don't really need a formal mentor or coach, although that certainly can help as well.
Right.
And then that would just depend on what do you want to advance in. If you want to become a better public speaker, great. Find a person that is an expert in that field and coach you on those skills.
Right.
If you want to become a more effective leader, wonderful. I would be the person to coach you on better leadership communication, performance, coaching, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
You're in a program called I Want You to Win. Tell us, what are the exceptional foundations for good coaching?
Sure. So I've asked about thousands and thousands of leaders to tell me about their own personal best coach.
Right.
Someone that had a significant and positive impact on them becoming the personal and professional that they are today. And all tell me a similar story. And so in the patterns of what we know to be great leaders or great coaches or great parents, great teachers, are really four foundations. I haven't invented them, I've just put some language around them.
Right.
What do these people do, great leaders? They acknowledge other people.
Right.
They say, I see you. They pay attention to other people. How are you? How are you really doing? What's working, what's not? What are you challenged by? How can I be helpful to you?
Right.
So they notice other people, so acknowledgement, really an outward focus. And underneath that, of course, they have this, I want you to win. I want your success.
Right.
The other thing that they do is they ask questions.
Open questions.
Open questions so
Right.
that other people can hear themselves think and come to their own good counsel and good answers.
Right.
Oftentimes we go around asking other people for answers, and the truth is we don't really want other people's answers. What we benefit most from is the time to think through our own best answer.
Right.
And so that we hear ourselves say it, it becomes more real and we're more likely to act on it. So they acknowledge people, they ask open-ended questions.
Right.
They share their, what I call intuitional perspectives.
Okay.
They share their real thoughts with others as data points, and they challenge them. So you might be sharing something with me, you want to lose 10 pounds, but you have a history of not going for that walk that you said you wanted to go for. And I might say, I hear you want to do the 10 pounds,
Right.
but I don't see you committed. So what's getting in the way? So I would challenge you and share more of my real thinking,
Right.
simply because I want your success. And then silence.
Right.
We let other people hear themselves talk, come to conclusions they maybe have been rolling around in their mind, but they never had time to formulate
Right.
completely. So there's what great leaders, great coaches do, and it's some of what I teach.
Wonderful. If people want more information, where can they get it?
My website, which is SusanneBiro.com,
Right.
SusanneBiro.com.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for your perspective.
Thank you for having me.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੈਲਫ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਚਾਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਟਰ ਕਰੇ ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀ ਕਿ ਰਾਈਟ ਡਾਊਨ ਯੋਰ ਗੋਲਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੋਲਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਲਿਖੋ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਲੋ ਅਪ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਕਾਊਂਟੇਬਲ ਬਣੋ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਕਮਿਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਤਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ। ਦੂਸਰਾ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮੈਂਟਰ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਆਪ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਤਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਕਾਮਯਾਬੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਅੱਜ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੋਚਸ ਵੀ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੁਜ਼ੈਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ, ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਯੂ ਟੂ ਵਿਨ, ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕੋਚ ਜੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਟਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਆਸਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ। ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਸਮਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਦੇਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।